Hail and greetings all, Ragnarok Prepper here, and today is the day. Our fermentation is complete for the Ghost Pepper Hot Sauce and for the Habanero Pepper Hot Sauce. So we're going to go ahead and process these and taste them and see how it turned out. As you can see, plenty of fermentation going on there in the jar. The brine is cloudy, and I'm not sure if you can see the bubbles coming up. So we're going to go ahead, open this up, and see what we have. Alright, we have a clear top. That's always a good sign. You can definitely smell that fermentation. Ooh, and the kick of heat. Oh yeah. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and grab our container and pour the brine off into the sieve. Remember, we want to retain that brine because we're going to use it to thin out the sauce here. Let that drain down in. And what I'm going to try and do is remove some of the seeds now, just as a textural thing, because I noticed in the jalapeno hot sauce, blending the seeds up didn't get rid of the texture completely. So just, again, another preference thing. All right. Grab a paper towel here. Set this down. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to take each of the peppers and scoop out the extra seeds inside. And then I'll come back and we'll go from there. Alright, we have our peppers now in the processor. And this is the seeds that ended up coming out of it, which we'll just throw those right into the compost bin. They'd be of no value in saving now. So let's go ahead and get the processor together and we'll start our sauce. Alright, so we want to start the process with 1 cup of brine added into the peppers. A bit more. Alright, then we're going to put our lid on and begin the process. Alright, let's look inside here. Right into the brine. Ooh. Excuse me. The heat is amazing. Alright. Okay, so now we have our peppers processed here. Just going to set this off to the side. Pour it into our jar here. Before I make a mess, let's do this real quick. So I will say, for anyone who's doing this for the first time, with ghost peppers, you may want In this instance, to wear a mask, it does release a lot of scent into the air. It could be harmful to someone whose respiratory system is compromised. Or not so. I'm not going to lie, I was coughing up a bit myself. So I'm really curious what this flavor is going to taste like here in a minute. I'm trying to get every little bit out. We don't want to waste any of it. And as you can see, we got less than we did from the jalapeno jar. I think some of that is going to have to do with the type of pepper used. Certain thin-walled peppers, which ghost peppers are definitely a thin-walled pepper, are not going to produce as much, obviously. Make sure we push that all down. All right. So, we have 10 ounces of ghost pepper hot sauce. Now, as I'm sure you can imagine, the coloration comes from what peppers you used. I know some people may add certain bell peppers in to give it more consistency or a brighter color. I'm not concerned about color, but these were from the orange and green ghost peppers that we put into the jar in the last video. So I'm going to go ahead and clean this up and get ready to do the habanero peppers, but I did find jars that I'm going to end up putting the sauce in for your gifts. And if you're curious about why there is a pineapple and peaches here, it's because our next experiment, we're going to try and create a ghost pepper pineapple hot sauce and a habanero peach hot sauce. So let me go ahead and clean this up, and we'll start up on the habanero. Alright, got all that cleaned up. Now we're ready to open the habanero. Now, I noticed something on here the day before yesterday, and I left it in here because I wanted you to be able to see this. As with any fermentation, you should be checking your jars to see what's going on. Now, as you can see in here, there's some white, creamy, moldy looking funk. And that's something called calm yeast. It is not dangerous. It doesn't ruin the fermentation. But if you don't remove it, it will affect the flavor of your fermentation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it from the top layer and discard it with the other brine. So give me 1 second, and we'll scoop that out. And all we're doing here is taking a spoon, removing the yeast from the top of the brine. Now, if it was a colored mold, you definitely want to pitch the entire brine. It's no good, and it's going to be ruined. So if you see any blue, black, or red molds, green, you want to get rid of that. Just toss the whole jar and start over again. Alright, looks like we pretty much got most of it off here. Check the sides here, a little bit over here. Alright, I think that looks good. Okay, so here we go. We're going to drain or sieve our yeast. Yeah, our brine from the peppers here. There we go. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to take and scoop out the peppers, the seeds. as soon as I do that, we'll be right back. Alright, here's our habaneros, pretty much all seeded out. So we're going to go ahead and process them. It should be a nice fiery colored sauce. So we're going to go ahead and add some of the brine in. And then we'll process. Alright, and now you can see we have that beautiful fiery orange. We're going to go ahead and put that into the jar. Get all of it out. Tell you what, doing this ghost pepper back to back with the habanero, whew, kitchen is light with pepper, I'll tell you that. Going to bring us right down to the time for that taste test. Alright, so it looks like we're going to end up with about 12 ounces of the habanero. See that there? Yeah, look at that color. Beautiful. Completely natural color. Alright. So let's find that spoon and give it a taste. Here we go with our ghost pepper. Oh yeah. Pure ghost pepper, no doubt. Slight hint of garlic, but the heat is definitely there. Yeah, that smoky, pure pepper flavor. Alright, so let's try this habanero now. Not sure if this was a good idea to do it back to back, but we'll find out in a second here. It's definitely got the scent. Oh yeah. There's the fire. Excellent. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Well, I'm going to go ahead, get this in the fridge, and then we'll ponder our new flavors coming up. Until next we meet, be well.